Okay, hello. So we're here, office hours, European times, 11 a.m. every Monday and Friday. And today we're going to be looking at some questions that we have by Ben, who's here today with me and Kim. And we're also going to be reviewing how to create a good shopping cart and a few other things. So if it's your first time watching us, just know that we do this every day, 7 times a week, and that you can come here for ask us for a complimentary session and get your bubble questions solved. We won't solve all your problems, but we guarantee that you won't suffer alone. So you can think of office hours as having a team of developers you can rely on to help you find solutions to your issues. And yeah, you can go to pronocoders.com to get more details. We just did a rebrand, which is work in progress still, and what isn't, I guess. And yeah, we'll be announcing very exciting very exciting things very soon. Okay, let's get started. So the other day, what we saw is we were trying to create here some orders, right, Ben, where we had the products.
Correct. Yep.
And then we wanted to submit and create a cart or an order, actually. Yeah. So I've been looking at some resources that could be helpful for us. And the first one is this widget created by AirDev. And this is interesting, not because we're not gonna add it to the app, but it's really good to check out the workflows and the database for a bubble shopping cart. So if you're kind of in that process of creating it, you can come here, create an account, which is free for AirDev. And then you can click view the editor, and you will be able to either copy the widget if that's what you want. They have the instructions here, or just inspect it, which is what we're gonna do. So let's preview. Let's see how it works. First of all, and I guess we're gonna be able to add alpacas and llamas to our cart. And then I don't know if we click here, we're able to see our shopping cart. We can add different quantities. This would be similar to what we're doing in the other app, but we would always have the pop-up open, right, with the cart. And if we click pay now, the order has been placed. So let's see how this is all happening. And we see that we have a reusable, which is pretty interesting because it's going to add a little bit of complexity, I guess. So let's go check out the reusable. And let's start with this button, for example, add to cart. We're triggering a few custom events. I wish I could change the color of the custom events. I don't think I'm going to be able because it's not my app. But I always try to differentiate. The other day we were talking about the workflow folders and everything. I always try to differentiate between the custom events and the rest of the events using at least colors, right? Otherwise, this is just painful to look at. Anyway, so we're creating a new order. The first thing of all, probably because we're going to be adding line items, right? Each product, or I think they call it here ordered product. I like to call it line item. But we need to store them somewhere, right? Or refer to the order to which they belong to. So the first thing is to create an order. We are creating an order and then assigning it to the user, because this can be really useful if you want to remind users of their existing order. Like if you want to tell them, hey, you have an order you haven't finished. So you can do this, and then if each user has a current order, you know what if they are actually in the process. And then they are creating a new order product. Let's remember that we have clicked just add to cart with one product. So this is taking a product, like it's sending a product to a custom event. Are you familiar with how custom events work then?
No, custom events, no, not so much.
Okay, so I'm going to take one app and show it to you. Do I have? Oh, I'm going to open my sandbox.
Also, what was the website you were on there for the AirDev plugins?
This one. Or were you asking about it?
Widgets.airdev.co, is it?
Yeah.
No, that one. Yeah.
super nice. Oh God, what am I doing? My brain is a little bit fried in the mornings. It's always like this. I'm a night person. Yeah, this is what I want. So I'm going to be showing you a few examples of custom events so that you understand their purpose a little bit better before we look at the shopping cart. Because they're actually really useful. They're kind of like functions in programming. Yeah, let's create a new page. And basically, I'm going to show you why they make sense. Okay, so I'm going to have a pop-up in this page. If Bubble lets me create it. Oh, come on. Let's be patient. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. So we're going to have a pop-up here in the page. Oh, what happened? I don't think it created my page. Yeah, it did. Now we have a pop-up. I'm not even going to fill it yet. And we're going to have two different buttons, okay, in the page. So button 1 and then button 2. And this happens a lot. Like imagine you have like, well, actually, let's make it more descriptive, like show pop-up. And then somewhere else in your page, you also have a button that shows a pop-up, okay? And maybe it does a few different things before showing it. So you will have two different workflows where you're showing an element. And maybe you're not only showing the pop-up, but you're also resetting it because it has some information like some inputs that are filled, and you want every time that you click the button, you want it to be completely empty. Well, if you want to have the same workflow for this pop-up, you need to create it again, right? So you'd have to copy the actions and paste them here. And if this is just like two buttons and two actions, this could be okay, although I wouldn't even like it, because if at some point you want to add an action to this flow, where apart from resetting the pop-up and showing the pop-up, maybe you're sending info to the pop-up, like a product or something, then you need to add it in both, right? And once you have a bunch of workflows here, it can be hard to find, okay, which were the buttons that were triggering each pop-up, right? So you need to search it here, then you have a lot of actions, and it's not the best. So because these actions are completely similar, we can put them in a custom event, and then we will just have like one function, which is going to be reset and show pop-up. So I'm going to be copying these two workflows, two actions, not workflows. And now, instead of having the actions in the button, I have them here, and I'm going to be triggering this custom event from both. Okay. And there is an action called trigger a custom event that we can use. And now this is going to have exactly the same effect. But if we ever need to make a change, we just come to a custom event and do it. And it applies for both buttons because it's triggering this custom event. Okay. Did you get it? Do you have any questions?
No, that's going to be super helpful though. That's awesome. Thank you.
Really good. And you see how both work the same way. And it's really, really good because it helps you keep your app like much more organized, right? You could have a different custom event here, and which is, for example, send an email, because you can get like as complicated as you want, right? And then you are sending an email, and you can trigger this custom event maybe only from here, but not from here, right? So you can do like combinations using different buttons, and it's pretty nice. Now, the only other thing that is good about the custom workflows is that imagine if in this pop-up, let's see what I have in my database, because I don't actually know. So I guess I can use plants, yeah. I don't know if I have it populated. I want it to be populated. Yeah, we have a few. Okay. So I'm just gonna get, oh no, actually I'm not gonna get, I'm not gonna have a data source in the pop-up. And what I'm gonna do is when I click the button, I'm gonna send, oh, I'm gonna send one plant to the pop-up. It can be one product, it can be anything, right? So here what we're gonna do is choose to show the name. And let's also show the icon. And obviously this is not gonna have anything at the start because the data source of the pop-up is empty. So what we're gonna be doing is sending the plant when we click here. So actually we're gonna say show plant 1 and show plant 2. And if we click here, we see that like the custom event is the same, right, for both. So how are we going to be able to do this? Because we want to send a different plant in each case. Well, first of all, we know that here we're going to need to display data, right? Because this is what we do when we send data to a pop-up. We display data in the pop-up. And now, what do we have to choose here? Because it's going to be different for each case. Well, every custom event can have a type of thing. If we choose plant, we can send a plant to this custom event. So we're going to be displaying data, and the data to display is going to be current workflow plant. And when we trigger the pop-up, we're able to select a workflow thing. So we're going to be able to, let's assign to these two buttons. I mean, we're going to do it here. Let's just say, this is going to be, I want to make sure that they're different. So where the plant type, actually I should be choosing plant types, I think. Yeah, because here we have two, you see, like sunflower and tomato. That's much better. Let me know if at some point, like I'm confusing you, okay?
Okay, no, it's all good so far.
And yeah, we can review everything. Yeah, but this is much easier, like plant type name, plant type icon, the pop-up is going to type plant type, and then here we can have like show sunflower, and here like show tomato. Yeah, and now what we're gonna be doing is triggering the custom workflow, which is going to be of type. It's going to accept a plant type, and we're gonna send it therefore one of the plant types. We're gonna do this manually. In this case, it's going to be tomato. Oh. We're going to get only the first item. There's only one, but you know how this works. And now for this other one, we're going to be triggering the custom workflow. Instead of using tomato, we're going to use sunflower. And we're triggering the same workflow, but we're sending a different plant type in each case. So now if we click, we see a sunflower. If we click, we see a tomato. Yeah. Super useful for getting your app organized and being able to just use one full function, right? This is kind of like the programming concept where you have a function on one parameter and you can change the parameter by calling the function. So yeah. Okay, so now let's go back to the shopping cart widget because it's going to make more sense. So now we're triggering a new order, create a new order. And this is a custom event that creates a new order and makes changes to user. Okay, perfect. They could add the actions directly here, but this is just more organized. Trigger create a new order product only if the order doesn't contain the product. Okay, that's interesting. So they only do this once. What they do is create the order product with the product current workflow product. So in this case, they are sending the current sales product. So the workflow is different if they click here or if they click here, because they're sending the product to the custom event. And they are adding it to the order. Okay. What else? They are changing the quantity of the product. And they are filtering it. Okay. So they are checking for the order. Now they have added the product. Getting the correct product and adding 1 to the quantity. Okay, makes sense. The first time they only add the product, and then the rest of the times they are adding 1 to the quantity. Then calculating product total, which let's see what it is. They are getting the price of the total amount of products, right? Like if there is one product that has 3 of quantity, they're multiplying the price by 3. Probably not how I would do it, to be honest. They're probably doing this just to show it on the screen. And let's see. Yeah, I think what they want to have is here, this subtotal, but they could also just calculate that on the spot. So let's see how we will do it, because we might change this a little bit. And then they're showing an alert. Okay, let's check what happens when they click pay now. When we click pay now. I think it's here. Yeah, pay now. Oh, it was here. Yeah. So they are changing it to pay yes. Okay, I mean, they would actually have to do a bunch of checks before doing that. And they're removing the current order from the user. That's interesting. And then the user has also a list of placed orders where they are adding the result of a step 2. It's also quite interesting. That's good. And then if it's, I guess this is so that you cannot click it twice. No, you know, because if the order paid is yes, you cannot pay again. You could do it in a few different ways. We go to user, we see that they have a list of placed orders and they have a current order. And then we have the order that has a list of ordered products, paid yes, no, the total price, and then the date placed. And for the product, okay, so yeah, they were calculating the total price of the order, not of each product. That might make sense actually. So you don't need to keep making the calculations in the pop-up. And now the order product has the price, the product, and the quantity. And in your case, it's going to have a few more things because you have also like color, link, etc., right? But you can also add that to the product and make it easier. So we have a few different ways of doing this. But yeah, this is interesting. I recommend, like, after the call, you can come here and investigate a little bit and try to see if it resembles your use case, you know, and how you can use what's applied here. If we come here to your app, I don't know why it shows like this for me. Very weird. Okay. I'm thinking maybe we should, I want to duplicate the page because it's like, it might be just like too much. Should I take this pop-up and just like copy it to another page? And we create the workflows there so that you can like replicate them here afterwards if you want.
Sorry, you were just cutting out then. What I missed that.
So should I take this pop-up and then do it like all this process in a different page so that you can then replicate it here? Or do you want me to do it directly on the page?
Oh no, just do them there.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's.
I'm just going to go back to it anyway. So.
Okay. You said that you're just gonna go back like to a save point, or not?
No, like if you're going to do it there, I would have to go and do it there anyway. So you're just saving me some time by doing.
Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes, you know, I like to do it myself. Even someone is telling me, you know, this is the way you should do it. I like to do it so that then it kind of like sticks more, right? Now, I'm gonna be creating the things that we saw before. The thing, even though we might be able to use this, okay, I wanted to do it from scratch. So we're gonna have, actually, let's call it line item for each product. And then we're gonna have it order. Okay, so line item and order, and let's put them together. I'm just gonna add here something like orders. We can remove these later, but just so that they're together because it's gonna save us some time. Yeah, that way they both appear up here. And now, in order to do this, you not only we have like the shopping cart, and we can use this as an example, but in the post that I showed you the other day, I actually found that the video that I was talking about is this one. Okay, so if you have 30 minutes and you want to watch an interesting video that talks about how to do things in Bubble, either like using like doing actions on the page with JavaScript, or doing it the Bubble way, this is a very nice video to watch. Like it's really interesting. And here Keith suggests that the cart contains either an order or the line items that compose an order. But that a line item, and this is very important, is not a product. Like the product is part of it, but the line item has the quantity, the product, and the price, which is what we saw in the AirDev shopping cart. Okay, here Keith adds subtotal as well, but we don't really need that because subtotal is just price times quantity. So we're gonna do it the AirDev way, and we're gonna just use these three. Go. Where was I? I was here. Yeah. So for each line item, we know that we're gonna need the product. Actually, is this called? Yeah, it's called product. Perfect. And I'm guessing you have a data type called product, right? Or you don't, maybe you don't. Yeah, it's this one, right? Where you have like the brand, the type, the name, everything. And we're not going to be doing the quantity, taking this one, right? Because for each product, like you might have a database of products.
Yeah.
Right. And then like the quantity, I don't know if it makes sense, like in the database of products, right? Because you might have like all the details, but then one product can be ordered twice or like 20 times, right?
Yeah. So the products, we wouldn't actually have a database of products. It would be, they would go onto an external website and find products that they like and put them there.
Okay. And what if one person wants to add like the same product twice? They need to do it twice?
No, they just put quantity too.
Okay. But like, what if it's a different day? Like they did it yesterday and now they wanna do it again.
Yeah, they'd have to do another order or edit that order.
That's interesting, because like that's then maybe this approach works. But like if you think about it, like normally you would have like something like this where you can find products, right? Or you're not gonna have llamas and alpacas, but you can probably find products that you already created to create a new order, right?
It is a bit of a different use case, yeah.
So with this use case, let's add up to this use case. So with this use case, maybe we can do it this way, because every time we're creating a new product or a line item, right? And everything is manual. If you're ever going to set it the other way, here you just need to have like the quantity, then the product, and then the price. Because the price shouldn't be in the product since it can change, right?
Correct, yeah.
And now, like if you have a database of stock order products just with the brand, the color, everything, then they could just like select it from there, and then you change the quantity and the price as you will be able to see in the shopping cart widget. Okay. You also create an order, and you have two options: either here linking with the order, or inside the order, having a list of line items. And both are valid. Okay. But in your use case, maybe we don't need to do this, and it's a little bit different, right? Because we're creating the stock order products, and now what we can do is create the order, which I'm not sure if you had the data type the other day. Let me check.
Yeah, stock order products, it's called.
Okay.
Sorry, there's stock order product. Stock order details is the order.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. It's this one, right? And it had a list of stock order products. That's good. So in this case, you have the quantity field already in the product. You have the price, or you didn't need a price, or
No, I don't need a price. No.
You don't, right?
No, correct.
Okay. Okay. So then you could work like this. Okay. But I think it's probably worth it to actually like consider maybe doing in the future something like what we just saw. And I hope it was useful, like at least just to understand a little bit how cards and like processes like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Bubble. Okay, nice. So let's move to something else. Do you have questions? Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, sure. Just close a couple of tabs there. So I've been doing a messenger app, like a messenger page for messages. First question I've got on this is, do you know, for some reason when I hover over these, I've got it set that colors change when you hover over the group, but whenever I hover over kind of anywhere around here, it's actually not changing.
That's interesting. Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
And the conditional is that. Which is this. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's the problem. Oh no, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me have a look. I'm gonna.
You know what it could be? It could be that floating group problem again.
Let's copy the messaging. You know, like
it is.
You think it is?
So yeah, because it only does it up to there, and then it won't do it at all.
I'm gonna try to open the messaging and see if it happens to me too. Where was it in the project? Where do I have to click?
It is group general information, group general messages.
Group general information, group general messages.
Do you want to share your screen? I'll show you.
Okay, I'm going to be sharing. Let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, so group set. I'm going to preview. Where do I have to click in the app to get to the messaging tab?
Yeah, so it's under accounts down the bottom. Accounts, yeah, and then messages.
But I don't have messages, right? So I'm gonna have to open the app with someone else.
Oh, because you're not running as a user. Yeah.
Which one should I use? Who has a lot of conversations? Or maybe you? Or I guess I can try to find you, right? And it's true what you were saying. Like here, you see how it's not letting me click until I get here.
Matthew.
That's
What was that,
interesting.
sorry?
Yeah, it's true. It's true that here it's not even letting me start a conversation. But if I move here, it is letting me start a conversation. Yeah. So that's
It's
probably,
because of that group. It has to be.
it's because of that. It's because of this group, right? That it's
Yeah, correct.
So let's inspect this a little bit. I'm going to be hiding the rest so that it doesn't bother us. Main slider is another floating group. Static menu. Okay. And I'm guessing like you've already tried to send this to a back. I mean, oh yeah, you told me like if you send this to a back, the problem is that like
it goes behind.
How do we do this? Let me. I'm gonna check if there is an element in Canvas that is similar to this and see how it's placed. See how it's created. Because I actually don't know how to solve like this issue. I've never faced it before. This is the Canvas manual. No, where can I go to copy the elements? I think maybe here. No, it's gonna be in the blocks. So this one. This is similar, I think. So maybe we can use the double sidebar portal page template and see how they're setting it up.
That is where I kind of ripped it off from, I have to say.
That's nice. That's nice. Always.
I try and like find things in Canvas and then see if I can rebuild them.
Yeah, that's actually a super nice idea. Really good way to practice. Okay, let's do this. But I don't know if I have Canvas here installed. Otherwise, let's see. I might need to use another app. Probably not registered, right? And do I have these? No, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna open a different bubble page. A different bubble app, I mean. So we can do this test. I've never used this sidebar, but it's actually pretty nice, and I like it in your app. So it's a shame. I mean, we need to make it work.
Yeah, it took some time, and I do really like it because even on a small screen, it frees up a lot of real estate. And when there's so much kind of going on in a one-page app, you kind of need as much real estate as you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm guessing it also works well on mobile. I haven't tried it, but
yeah. So Pro NoCoder's website is up and running?
Yeah, I don't know if I should have shown it, but I guess yeah, it's about time. I need to be in that screenshot. The other day I wasn't able to make it, and but I love the picture of like Tonya, Eli, and Justin. I think it's great.
Oh yeah, where are you? What's going on?
No, I was traveling because I had to come to Madrid. So that's the thing.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. And they were like too excited not to launch. So I said like, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. We check for target. Oh yeah, I need the blocks container 860, right? So if you want to use Canvas and put blocks in a page, you need this group. It's 16. It's funny because actually, like with since I always have the designs done by a designer, because that's the person in the team that usually does it with our apps before I develop. I'm not used at all to like designing pages from scratch using Canvas. I'm
Right.
only used to like making the elements work, but not designing. Okay. Oh, so it wasn't here, right? Oh, I think it's because it's a page, right?
Yeah, it's a page. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. We didn't even need to create this page. We're gonna create this new one.
How long ago did you do the bubble crash course?
How long ago? I think we started it around January this year, and
Oh,
then
right. This
yeah,
year.
yeah. We pre-launched like maybe in February, and then we finally launched it in March. So it's pretty recent. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
but it's been nice. It's been a good experience. I love like whenever someone says like, "Hey, I like your style of teaching," or like, like I learned this thing. I thought this was very difficult, and it's not that difficult. That makes me
Yeah.
happy. Okay, nice. Let's first of all let's see it, and let's see how it behaves. We have these. Oh yeah, I mean I haven't set up the functionality yet, but does this ever hide? Because I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. That's the thing. Because in your case, it
I thought
does.
it would. Isn't that kind of the point of it?
I don't know. Because it's all in a floating group, and then inside there are groups. Yeah, we have this other floating group, but this is the header, and then we have this other floating group, but it's not in one group together with it. But it's true that
Right.
it's interesting because what we want to see is what happens if we hide this, right? Is it going to be problematic like in Europe?
Well, my two floating groups are in one group, which is why I think I've got the problem. But if I take them out, then the one on the right just goes haywire and goes all over the page.
So let's see then what are they doing to keep them responsive, right? Because maybe if you remove them from the group and then it solves the issue, then that's probably what we need to do. Remove them from the group and try to make them
Yeah.
responsive, definitely. So let's try to find how they are behaving. So the first one, I mean, and it's also just like the full size, right? Next to the page. Even if it's only this section, it like it extends until the side of the page, which is also
Yeah.
interesting. And I don't know if I can. Oh, come on. I can't wait for the new responsive editor. It's coming this week, next week, I think.
Really, that quickly?
Yeah, that's what they said. I'm guessing with the monthly community update. So yeah.
So yeah, week after next, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe next week, like the public opt-in starts to be a reality. Because I mean, Monday or Tuesday we'll have the monthly community update, and I'm guessing they won't be announcing like it's gonna come in 2 weeks, you know, or in 1 week. I'm guessing if they announce it, it's probably gonna say like you can already use it.
Right. Have you had a look at it yet?
No. Only like sneak peeks and the things people post, but I haven't been able to use it yet. I think only like template builders have been able to use it, and not even so much. I think maybe alpha, like beta testers, but you have to sign up like very quickly for that.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not being able to see the responsive settings, which is a shame. I don't know. Like, do you know why they're not showing up when I click? Okay, they are now. So it's fixed width, which is interesting. Yeah, that's always how they are, I think. Let's check in your app. Try to do the comparison of find, yeah. It was float group main slider and floating group static menu, floating group main side. Yeah, but I don't want to edit the group. I want to edit the floating. Okay, so I'm gonna ungroup them. Okay, and then we can go back if needed.
Yeah, cool.
Have you seen this already? Like a small change in the editor where you can select the page, which you couldn't before.
I did. Yeah, I saw that.
That's nice. And it's not like a.
I was wondering if that was new or I just hadn't noticed it before.
So what's interesting to me is that in their app, in their app, or like in this with this double, how is it called? Double sidebar page template. Both floating groups are like extended all the way to the left. So maybe we should try that and like put this behind the other one, right? And leave some space so that because all the elements are here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we can probably try it out. Let's see. Yeah, all have the same margin, which is 12. Let's just do this. I keep getting this group. I'm gonna delete it. Yeah. So this floating group. Send back. Yep. No, it's floating. Yeah, relative to left. Let's see.
The moment of truth.
I mean, I would be surprised if it works just with this thing that we did. We probably need to do a few more tests at least. If someone is watching and has like best practices, you know, knows what to do and can recommend.
Looks like it worked to me.
It does. It does. It seems like it's working, right? Because you want it to be like you want to be able to hover. Now, the only thing is that you want it here a space, right?
Ideally.
So it's not something that is like super necessary, right?
Exactly.
If you wanted a space, I guess you can also do it. Like you can just like here in the floating group, you can have instead of like a full background flat color, You can have like a
Yeah.
group inside the floating group that has the flat color, and then another group
Yeah.
inside the floating group, you know, like, and separate them with a transparent line. Okay,
Or I
that's
could
nice.
just do one group that's the background color and then make the rest of it transparent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually way easier. Absolutely. And then you would have like, I think the exact same behavior. Let's try it just in case. So let's create a group inside. Extend this. And we're just gonna have to put them all inside, right? I want to keep the same margin as before, which was like, I think it was like 12.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, about this. And let's call this group background. Okay, no. I wish there was a way of like in Bauchi just like select a bunch of groups and say like drop them in this one.
Yeah, totally.
That'd be so nice. And also like I think another thing that would be super helpful would be able to select a bunch of things here in the elements tree instead of in the page. It's also something
Oh,
that
yeah.
I can't believe like it's not possible because it would be
There's a few
speed.
things. On a page, it would be great to select multiple things and go center horizontally, center vertically, like all of these things within their own groups.
Oh yeah, so true. I mean, you can do it with one.
Yeah. But like if you had like 10 things that you needed to do it for, it'd be great to
Yeah,
just
I know.
shift them all.
You know what I used, but then like it stopped working very well for me, which was a shame. But there's a zero code extension, actually, this one.
I
Zero code.
tried it and it just keeps breaking for me.
I know, but it worked better before. I don't know why it's not working well now. And that was great because I would just use the shortcut.
Yeah, heaps better.
Yeah, but now it's not so good. Let's see. We're probably gonna want to. I'm thinking for this group, we're gonna need maybe to round. Oh no, they're already rounded the borders. I don't know if it's gonna work. We did it quickly, but let's check. It might be faster for you because I'm sharing the screen, so maybe you have like the the sneak peek. You already know before I show.
I do, and it worked.
Yeah, super nice. Okay. But something is happening with talent. Is this the normal behavior for talent? I don't think so, right? What's going on?
What's happening, sorry?
When I click talent, nothing shows up.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Could it
Oh,
just
okay.
be the state though? I can just.
I think it's because the group talent, if you close, let me see what we have inside the group create background. So we have brands, we have events, we have account, we have dashboard, we have projects. Where is group talent? I can only see this one, FG close.
That's the close
Oh,
button.
this is the only one yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna, I think we have to put it inside the other group. Oh God, wait. Undo. And I'm gonna move it around a little bit. Okay, it's gonna be working now. Yeah, perfect. Nice. So that was easier than we thought. That's great. Thank you, Canvas, for showing us the way.
Yeah. I'll check that it I'll check that it now lets me access those messages. Should I?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the new computer tomorrow. Everything's just so slow at the moment. Yep, works a treat.
Awesome. Want to share your screen so that the audience knows? And we have these.
Sure.
What we were trying to do, right?
Achieved. Yeah, tick it off with confetti. So that now, I'll just fix up those borders. The only thing is talent, is not there, but that must mean that it's not in this group, I'm assuming. But everything else is there. And then you can now access the things behind it, which is so much, exactly what I was trying to do.
Much more sense. Yeah, like I kind of understood your issue the other day when I was reviewing it. And I was like, okay, like this is obviously not supposed to happen, right? Like it's gonna break an app always,
And now, you can access kind of everything. This I still don't know what to do about, but I'll have to speak to Pablo.
I remember when you told us about this. I would definitely file a bug.
I messaged Bubble about it. I just didn't hear back.
I don't know. I think it's taking them a little bit longer than before to respond to messages. Ever since they raised the money, which is funny, right? Like because now they should have much more capacity, but since they were like scaling the team, I know that they've took a hit in like in response times and everything. So
and they've also got the new editor coming out, imminently. So I can imagine a lot's going into that.
But they're not gonna be like doing a new editor in full. They said like in the last community update, they actually acknowledged that like they had made a mistake and that like doing a new editor from scratch and like deploying it was going to cause a lot of issues. And now they're doing only like incremental changes to the existing editor, but they are working on the new responsive editor. That's definitely true, and that's a most.
Is that Flexbox?
Yeah. What?
Is that Flexbox the new responsive?
Yeah, exactly. So I think the editor will remain the same way with just like a few changes, like what we saw with them adding the page and just a few other things. But then the big change will come with responsiveness,
which is everyone's biggest issue anyway, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Pablo.
You're more than welcome, man. That's perfect. That was a good session. We got this sorted out, so that's great.
Amazing session. Yeah, no, perfect. That's been like really holding me back quite a bit. So I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Well, it's your 9 p.m. It's my 12, I don't know how to say, 12 p.m., 12 a.m., midday. So I think we can call it a day, and we can, you can go to rest and I can start my day with some other stuff. That's great. That was awesome. That was a good session. Great to have you here, Ben.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Pablo.